Okay, now I believe it's working. So I welcome you all to BYJU'S Exam Prep. Welcome everyone. Hello Ashish. So nice to see you here. And in today's session, we are going to discuss about what should be your strategy to go for IPU CET ka logical reasoning section. So we will be discussing the important types of questions that are expected and how to go about it. And if you have like any queries regarding it, feel free to ask me about that as well. Hi, Balaji. If I'm really sorry, I don't want to mispronounce your name, right? And welcome to the session. And without much ado, let's start today's session. And the first thing about GGS IPU CET is that there is no separate quantitative aptitude section. You have verbal ability as usual. Your other entrance exams have verbal ability. Almost each and every entrance exam has verbal ability. Logical reasoning is there. So the basic questions of quantitative aptitude like ratios, percentages, or simple basic arithmetic puzzles which are based on these ages and things like that, you might see them in a logical reasoning, or you might see a set of data interpretation. So that is something which is going to give you a glimpse of basic mathematics till your class 10th, which is super easy and straightforward, but only in logical reasoning, right? So logical reasoning ka arithmetic part might, you might get to see one or two questions from QA. Other than that, QA का कोई separate section नहीं है. Then the third thing is journal awareness and your management aptitude. Now, these are the important sections that they are going to ask you. But the best part about this exam is, if we look at the past year question paper patterns, this is one of the exams that students find easy. A lot many students, when I talk to them, when they give the exam of IPU, in the previous year they have given the exam, and each and every student has had one thing in common to say, and that was, I had plenty of time, I could solve the questions on time, I jitna bhi aata tha, I could apply the information. So one thing about this particular entrance test is that if you have studied, okay, if you have learned, if you have practiced the questions, then you can easily get very good score in this particular entrance test, right? So this one is a university level exam conducted for providing admission to candidates in BBA in the colleges affiliated to GGS IPU, right? Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University. And this is conducted by the university only. So there is no separate body which is going to take exam for the same. So university खुद ये exam conduct कराती है. Tentatively we are expecting them to conduct this particular exam in April 2022. This session used for CU CET. CU CET. You might want to ask me any questions at last. You're free to do so. But however, having that being said, the important the important part of logical reasoning that is going to be asked in GGS IPU CET, that is same as your CUET, or I shall say CUCET. CUET is the new name for CUCET, right? So that is one thing that can help you. Theek hai Balaji, that is one of the things. And the other thing is, recently, the chancellor of the chairman of UGC, they have very clearly said that level of CUCET is not going to be very high, right? Because they are expecting students to just have examination that is till class 12th standard. ठीक है, उसी लेवल का. तो वो सेम चीज GGS IPU भी करता है. So you might want to know what all are the important topics for LR, right? We're not getting any questions here, are we? Not exactly. We're going to discuss what are the important topics that you can go for, right? So exam will be held in 2 shifts, right? And this has been the IPU CET का registration start हो चुका है since March 4th 2022 on its official website. So if you haven't filled your form, you can do that now till April 30. That is the last date. So registration process has started. The end of registration will be on April 30. The university is yet to announce the exam date. They were very clear in their brochure that if there is any problem regarding COVID or boards, they might have to change the dates if it is required. So they'll let you know about the dates soon. Till now, April 30, you can fill out the exam for the same entrance test. Fine. So when the exam will be conducted, when the admit cards will be out, everything is yet to be announced. We are waiting for that. However, abhi ke liye registration open hai, so you might want to do that. Also, if you want to take a look at which all colleges are affiliated to GGS IPU, they are doing that on their official website. वहाँ पे काफ़ी easily चीज़ें approachable है, बहुत ही simple सा website है, आप वहाँ पे जा सकते हो, ठीक है, and check कर सकते हो. So this is a university level exam conducted by GGS IPU. It is conducted only once a year. ठीक है, it is also known as IPU CET. It is a 3-hour exam and the total number of section is 4. The mode of exam is online and there are multiple choice questions, right? So the best part about this exam is that you're going to get 100 questions, but the number of minutes provided to you, the time limit that is provided to you, is almost as if you need to solve 200 questions. So the students who are going to appear for IPU CET might have to understand that you can maximize your attempt and you can maximize your accuracy because there is no time pressure at all. But to maximize your attempts, you have to go through your business and journal awareness, because this is the only section. These are the two only sections where students come out and say, some questions I did not know the answer to. They hardly take just, a basic knowledge of management aptitude and communication skills. So you might want to go and check that, syllabus thoroughly. But having that being said, logical and analytical ability, you can solve the entire 25 questions. English language, if your basic English grammar, verbal ability of vocabulary and reading comprehension is good, you will be able to solve these 25 questions because you have time to solve these questions. So the eligibility criteria for CET, that is IPU CET, is that you should have 50% marks minimum in CBSE plus 2 or equivalent recognized board in India, right? And you must also have passed English as core, elective or functional as a subject. So that is something they demand out of you, and that is a very justified demand, because if the course that you are opting for, if the course that you're going to appear for the entrance for the entrance test for, right, you need to study that particular thing in English. अगर आपको English में पूरा कोर्स करना है तो आपका English जो है core, elective और functional subject होना चाहिए. So that is the basic eligibility criteria, and you should not be more than 21 years of age as of 1st of August 2022. So there is an upper age limit, so you might want to check that out. Now let's discuss what are the important LR topics. Now I'll start with the easiest one, which are non-verbal reasoning, for which you do not have to pick the pen and paper. You can expect questions on water images, mirror images, arrangement, paper folding, figure matrix, or your figure series, right? Or you can, simply completing the figure. So the basic visual reasoning or non-verbal reasoning, you can expect this in the exam of IPU, and that is, having that being said, that it is one of the easiest type of questions that you can see. You look at the question, you know the answer, you're going to fill that up, right? So easy. Verbal reasoning, which is also known as critical, right? So your basic straightforward questions, which could be either based on a passage or a single statement from which you might have to judge which is the correct assumption. You might have to judge which is a strong or a weak argument. You might have to judge which could be the conclusion or inference or course of action. So all these things are the part of verbal reasoning in IPU CET. So as there are 25 questions, so you cannot expect like entire question paper with visual, non-verbal or verbal reasoning. You can expect many questions on analytical reasoning, and analytical reasoning also might have basic QA questions that we discussed in the starting, right? So series, number and letter series. So number series sometimes requires your basic knowledge of quantitative aptitude. Logical sequence series, the part where they have already given you the sequence and they are expecting you to find out certain terms out of it. Okay, in your number and letter series you might get questions from a missing number, a missing series, or a wrong number. So these are some things that can be asked out of number and letter series. However, in logical sequence series you might have to apply the conditions given by the examiner and then find out a certain term. Coding, decoding, one of the basic topics. Cubes and dices, Venn diagrams, syllogisms, binary logic, blood relations, clock and calendar, data arrangement, your family tree, data arrangement in the form of seating arrangement, logical connectives. Now logical connectives is a very simple topic where you can be asked about if and or, either or like statements. They're easy questions, not very difficult, right? If you have like any other queries, feel free to type that in the chat. We're going to discuss that as well. Sets and caselets, right? So that is expected. You can get blood relations, sets and caselets. You can expect data interpretation, sets and caselets. You can expect coding caselets. You can expect directions caselets. You can expect puzzles caselets. So there are plethora of ways that they can give you a passage of information and expect entire set or caselet to be solved. So again, having that being said, the level of exam is not very difficult. If you are till now, if you have like appeared for Christ University, the first shift, that means you're good to go for logical reasoning. You just need to keep on solving the questions from random sections or topics. Then bar graph, column graphs, line graph, pie charts, logical matching, puzzles, data structures, data sufficiency, not proposition, right? So logical reasoning के ये important topics है. What is the preparation plan? The first stage, this is only for those students who haven't started yet, because I think only 1% or 0.5% would be the students who haven't started preparing for the entrance test. A lot many students have started since November 2021, December or January of this year or February. So I don't think anyone is there who hasn't started yet. But if you are one of them, please do not get afraid. You can certainly follow this way of learning. अपना learning curve आप इसी तरह से बनाइए and you will get through it. IPU University is better than which universities? Excluding locals. Better in the sense, like just now every university has to offer different courses to you. Okay, I always tell you that when you compare the universities, so I might compare IPU with IIM or Delhi University, right? So I might say IPU is better because I might have different logics behind it. Okay, I might say Delhi University is better. A lot many students, when they compare Shahid Sukhdev College with IIM Indore, they are always saying IIM Indore is better, and a lot many say no ma'am, Shahid Sukhdev is better. So the comparison always is going to be your own perception, first of all. And the second thing is, try to understand what do you want from a certain course. What do you want from your BBA, right? Do you want to learn a certain, maybe you want to go for a good placement, so you might want to rank the universities according to placement. You might want to start your own business, so you might want to start, rank the universities according to the practical knowledge that they're giving you, right? So you might be a student who is just right now keeping each and every university as a choice. So that is the main part. I always tell the student, do not compare any university unless until you have a choice in hand. Ma'am, I have Christ University, I have Symbiosis, I have IPU, I've also cleared DUJAT. Now CUET is, your CUCET, which is now known as CUET, that is also cleared. Now I have choices. Now you tell me, then I'll be very happy to tell you that okay, then we'll be having a discussion that what do you want from a certain institution, and then we will be ranking that. So before you keep on judging it, that only ends up in confusion. I'm saying that from the experience that I've seen. A lot many students are like, but ma'am, IIM में तो बहुत कम seats है, तो that means you're right now giving up. Don't give up on anything. And if you want to ask me which universities are better, IPU University is better than which of the universities? There are a lot many. Okay, there are a lot many universities. Okay, everyone is offering their best curriculum and their best faculties. So if you want to rank them, please ask yourself the question, what is the criteria that you're ranking on them? Are you ranking them on the placement? Then obviously Delhi University is better, right? If you're ranking them on the scale of professional and practical knowledge, then obviously IIMs are better. So ask yourself, what am I supposed to learn from this particular stage? What is my rank? Okay, so that would be the answer to your particular question. So this in this stage, to a great extent, okay, basis of all that you learn in the phases to come. So that means in the first stage of your preparation, if you aren't even aware of the fundamentals of logical reasoning, start with very basic topics like coding, decoding. You have an example, you decode from that example, you apply the same pattern on whatever the given question is. Direction sense, someone moving toward north takes 3 consecutive right turns. Now in which direction are they facing? That is a very basic logic, because each one of us now, we are using Google Maps, so we are very aware about everything that is being how are we going to draw the map. So it is a very basic topic that can be asked in logical reasoning. And when you're done doing the direction sense, when you understand the directions, you will automatically learn the seating arrangements. When you're done doing coding and decoding, when you're understanding how to grasp a certain pattern, you will be finding everything very easy when you're trying to solve the questions based on input and output. When you're doing family tree, you might find the puzzles very easy. So things like these are the basic topics that you should be starting from. And a lot of these topics you already know the basics of. So that is the good point about starting from the basics. As far as critical reasoning is concerned, learn the basic structure of an argument, elementary terminology, statement, conclusion. Now argument has a literal meaning argument, okay, but are we looking for that particular argument in critical reasoning? No. We're just judging whether a certain person can give a strong argument to back up their answer to a particular question. That is an argument. Assumption, the literal meaning is I am assuming something, like I can assume anything. Assumption ka literal meaning yahi hai. But is that the meaning as far as critical reasoning is concerned? No. Assumption is something that you have to judge, like okay, this person has made a statement, what was his assumption? So what was his assumption while he was making that statement? Okay, so that is the basic terminology and the meaning and the structure of an argument, a statement, a conclusion, an inference, an assumption. So lot many things, if you understand a lot many things when you learn the basic terminology. So do practice a lot of questions from basic to medium. So basic ones are single statement questions, medium ones are your basic passage based questions. You solve and reattempt the questions that you find problematic. Okay, a lot many times students come to me and they say, ma'am, I cannot solve critical reasoning, and I'm always saying, please change your perspective, please change your perspective. And then the students are like, but ma'am, even if I change the perspective, I still am getting that thing wrong. Then I would like to suggest you one thing. If you're getting a question wrong each and every time you try to solve it, the type of question, why don't you understand that when examiner asks this particular thing, like examiner might want to ask me ban the cigarettes, and I'm saying no, that is not a correct course of action. You cannot ban cigarettes in a country like India. Why? Because a lot many people are employed because of it. A lot many people are actually addicted to it. So we cannot just wake up and ban anything. We should have a good backup argument for it. We should have a good course of action for each and everything. So having that being said, if you find something to be worthy of banning, that doesn't mean the answer to the question is banning. Does that mean you're wrong? No. Understand, in critical reasoning, it's not about you being wrong or the examiner being right. It is about judging the particular assumption, the conclusion, the inference being correct according to the given statement or the premise, right? So that is one of the things about critical reasoning that you should understand. The part two is reinforcement stage. You learned the basics, right? You learned your blood relations, your directions, your coding, decoding, simple arrangement, basic terminology of critical reasoning. So that means now your basics are done. You are solving difficult questions from different topics that you have learned so far. So you should revisit your notes or randomly try to solve some questions so that you ensure that you're aptly able to recall what you have learned. After the reviewing process, you might start working on reinforcing your basics and moving on to more complex topics that often require mixed understanding of basic topics. Like, you need to have a very good grasp on distance and direction if you want to go for circular arrangement, rectangular arrangement, things like that. So after the review process, if you feel your basics are shaky, that means you need to revise them again. Learn the complex arrangements, long passage-based critical reasoning questions, tough visual reasoning problems like counting the number of figures. A lot many students find that problematic. Pattern identification, practice questions from past year papers, okay? And all these things are going to help you to have a good understanding, because one thing about IPU, I can assure you that the level of questions has not changed, and the number of minutes that extra you have, you need not worry about letting any questions get behind in logical reasoning especially. So you may start attempting LR sectional test, okay? And you can do one thing, you can randomly pick questions, or you can say, okay, in like 1 hour I'm going to try to solve around 50 questions, right, of coding decoding. I'm going to try to solve about 2-3 sets of data interpretation. So make sure you do that so that your speed is also good. The final stage arrives when you have covered about 90% of your syllabus. A lot many students in the previous stage, they're like, ma'am, but if I am only done with my 60 to 70% syllabus, am I supposed to solve the past year question papers? Yes. That will ensure you that, okay, whatever you have learned right now, you are very good at that part. You need to just do what is being asked again and again that you cannot solve, which is again from your 30 to 40% syllabus. So having that being said, the final stage will come when you have covered about 90% of the syllabus. When I say 90% of syllabus, that just means you're done with the basics of each and every topic that we have told you is important. um, you just have to keep on practicing more. So always your practice stage is going to be around 90 to 95%, because never ever you have completed the entire syllabus, because yet you have to solve more questions. So the final stage of your preparation journey is all about revisiting and revising all that you have learned so far. You might have come across few topics that you find difficult, right? So you can then try to bifurcate those topics into, okay, I can solve like these type of questions, but I have a problem in these type of questions. If there is a topic that you have problem solving in, you might not want to give that up entirely. Try to find out the types of questions that you can do. Clocks and calendar, lot many students are not able to solve the questions based on wrong clock, right? But the remaining three types are just based on a very simple formula, right, and two shortcuts. So if 75% of the topic is easily done, then why are you worrying about a certain type of question that is only going to be asked for 1 or 2 marks? 1 or 2 questions are being asked for that. Giving up an entire topic is not important. Finding out what are the parts that you can learn even though you do not know the entire topic, that is going to make you feel more confident, right? So it is also about making sure that you're not missing out on any potential question type. I do not like clocks, but if I can solve at least these type of questions that might come in exam, because they also have a chance to being asked in exam, right? Ample number of sectional tests as well as full length mock tests. Now sectional tests are very important, because while you are saying that okay ma'am mera LR पूरा हो चुका है, I'm done with my LR preparation, okay, you might want to take as many sectional tests as possible so that you are backing up your argument with a good logic that okay, see ma'am, her sectional test mein I am achieving 95% of the accuracy, that means my LR is done, right? So that is why we always tell you to go for sectional tests or mock tests. Analyze your test performance. Analyze का मतलब ये नहीं होता मैम how do I improve the score. That is not the analyze part. The analyze वाला part is I know how to solve distance and direction. How come I got this question wrong? Was that because I misread the information? Was that because the question in the mock test was wrong? Was that because I forgot to solve this question in a hurry? So that is the analyzation part. So if you forgot to solve that question, that means you need to be very aware about the questions. If the question was wrong, that means you can be very confident, okay, this is done, the question in the mock was wrong. That might happen, human errors are there. ऐसा तो हो नहीं सकता कि real exam में question गलत नहीं आया, mock test में नहीं आ सकता. That might well be the reason, ठीक है? And the third thing is that I misread the information or I do not know the concept का basic. So relearn the concepts basic if you do not remember that. And if you have misread the statement, try to understand that in the next mock that you're going to practice, you do not give yourself a chance to misread the information, misinterpret the information. So don't do that. Okay, make sure you don't get into the habit of getting stuck at questions. Many students are like, hey, that is data interpretation, just a bar graph question, how come I cannot solve it? It is a distance and direction question. How come I cannot solve it? There are going to be questions in the examination that are deliberately set up so that you waste your time. Given that you have more time available in IPU CET entrance test, you might end up wasting your time. So do not get into the habit of getting stuck into the questions. Don't do that. ये mock में ही सीख लो that if you do not know the answer to a question, you'll have plethora of time afterwards. Right now you have to leave and solve the other questions. Keep your head clear and go to the exam hall to take the exam in a calm state of mind. I always tell my students that having a good night's sleep is very, very much important. But having that being said, I was a student that if I wanted to revise something just before my examination, I would have done that. So calm state of mind doesn't necessarily mean, that you need not study anything before that. But if you want your state of mind to be calm, it is just that understanding that you have tried your best to understand each and every topic, each and every sectional test. You have studied enough. Now relax, whatever in the exam will be there, you'll know the answers to. And if you do not know the answer to that, it is difficult for other persons as well. So don't stress out that much. That is the best state of mind that you can, go to the exam with. And all the best, guys. Do we have any more questions regarding to IPU CET? Also, we're giving you flat 20% off with our online classroom programs if you use the code SAFALTA20. And for the students who are going to prepare for BBA HM and IPM entrance test for 2023, we have launched our comprehensive course with foundation module. When are we expecting to see the notification regarding the domain requirements associated with BBA? Ashish, recently the chairman of CUCET, the chairman of UGC, they very clearly said that when they meant two domain subjects, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to go with two. They're giving you an option to go with minimum 1 and maximum 6. So that is the news as of now, the latest one, right? And they are just asking you to understand, okay, that whatever exam, like you want to go for BBA, right? You want to go for BBA. Clearly your business studies is important, your accounts is important, your economics is important. So instead of taking just one domain test, if you can take all three, that will be helpful to you. So they're not saying that सारे के सारे domain तुम्हें देने ही है. They are allowing you to have the variety, first of all. And about the notification, the chairman has said that they are taking, a very good care about whatever goes out through NTA, so that और कोई मिसकम्युनिकेशन नहीं हो. तो वो एक चीज़ वो थोड़ा सा कर रहे हैं. तो वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग देम टू गिव द इंफॉर्मेशन इन लाइक नेक्स्ट फ्यू डेज. ठीक है. I believe they are going to do that because they want the students to go for higher mathematics. But one thing said by them was very good, and I loved the part when he said, we are not giving you IIT. We are giving you an entrance test which is going to be just ask you the level till class 12th. That is one thing that is said by this certain person, okay, in an interview few days ago. But then again, I believe being conscious about what they put out on the website, they want to be very clear about it, because बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स चल रही है ऑलरेडी, बहुत सारे बच्चों को मिसकंसेप्शंस चल रही हैं, अफवाहें फैल रही हैं. सो दे डोंट वांट दैट टू हैपन. सो लेट्स बी पेशेंट विद दैट. ठीक है. बट इन द मीन टाइम व्हाट यू कैन डू इज द 23 सब्जेक्ट्स दैट दे हैव गिवन यू, at least you can eliminate the ones that you do not want. Do you want to go for dance? No, eliminate that. Do you want to go for fine arts? No, you can eliminate that. Do you want to go for a specific language? If no, then you can eliminate that. So when you keep on eliminating, you have the few tests, domain tests available to you. By the way, only math is yes, Just in the recent interview, they said minimum 1. For it was there when they said minimum 2 and maximum 6. In the recent interview given to Times of India or Indian Express, I don't remember exactly, they said minimum 1 is there. Or Samurai, the first thing about BMS and BBA is many universities are going to ask you same entrance test for both. Okay, Samurai, I hope that is understood at your point. Many universities, they're going to ask you the same entrance test. So if you're confused between that, the first thing that you have to understand, you're in class 11th, right? You're preparing for the same thing for the entrance test, A. The second thing is BMS या BBA, ask yourself what you want to do in the future. And yes, you can also do this. You can speak to our counselors. They'll explain you what you can expect after BMS and after BBA. What is the difference between the career paths? Okay, so I can help you with that. Yeah, so the exact same thing to degrees are a little bit different. Like a lot many students are like BAFIA is different, right? BMS is different. So career path के लिए degree is same, entrance tests are the same, but if you want to go for कि okay मुझे कौन सा degree चाहिए, किसका value ज़्यादा है, ठीक है, our counselors will help you with that. Also guys, our champions course for CUCET, or shall I call it CUET, is launched, right? And you please stay tuned for when we will be giving you the first session. You can also take a demo in the other batches as well. Also, we are offering you booster crash course for IPM IIM 2022. This has been launched on 9th of March. If you want to know more about it, you can call us on 8806130414, right? And I really hope I could answer all your queries. And if you're yet to download BYJU'S Exam Prep app, make sure you do it now. You get free sessions, you know, so many quizzes, you get so many sectional tests for free, right? So that is the material that is available to you if you download the certain app. Also, if you like today's video, make sure you hit that like button, है ना? And you subscribe to our channel for more such videos. And if you need help in anything very specific, please do let us know in the comment section what is the next information that you want regarding any BBA entrance test or IPM or CUCET. If you need more information, feel free to type that in the chat. Our team is going to take that into account and we're going to come up with a new video for the same. Now I'll try to say bye to you all, because this has been a very long session regarding the LR. But if you try to use this learning curve, that will definitely help you. And I'm going to meet you in the next session. Till then, please take care of yourself. Bye-bye.